Hey everybody, so today I saw Isn't It Romantic, directed by Todd Strauss-Schulson, starring Rebel Wilson, Liam Hemsworth, Adam Devine. Sorry I'm going to butcher her name, but she's from that show Quantico, if you know what I'm talking about. Parikna Chopra, Betty Gilpin, and Brandon Scott Jones. This movie is essentially, I feel, pretty done slightly better. The comedy I'm gonna start right over with that one. The comedy, in my opinion, misfires very hard. The only good jokes that are in this movie are shown in the trailer, and if you've seen the trailer, you know what I'm talking about. That's about it, and that's what you can expect from this movie. It's just a lot of that, and sometimes it doesn't work well. Granted, what I think does work well, and I did find somewhat comedic, is not necessarily a commentary, but maybe a parody of the modern rom-com where everything is the same. You can expect the same cliches and tropes, and that's where I feel like this movie has a good basis and a good base to build itself on, which I rather liked. The script is fine in my opinion. The acting is as to be expected from a cheap rom-com, especially from Rebel Wilson, who I'm not the biggest fan of. And I'm going to tell this joke. Some people might not like it, but this is going on YouTube anyways, and I got a little bit more time to flesh these reviews out, so I'm going to say it. When she wakes up and walks out of the hospital from her injury to her head, she's wearing a dress and a top hat with gloves. And this is in no slight to Rebel Wilson, but this is more of a slight to the costume department. They went out of their way to make her look like Miss Piggy from the Muppets. Any other costume choice, I don't think she would have looked like that. She doesn't look like that for the rest of the movie. It's in this one scene where she's wearing a hat and gloves. She looks just like Miss Piggy. And it is hard not to notice. I would be hard pressed to see anybody not see that when they see this movie, if anyone sees this movie, and not tell me they thought the exact same thing. As for the score, they played the song 1,000 Miles, which go do-do-do-do-do. Do. I could walk 1,000 miles. That. They play that song 3 times throughout this movie, and back to back in one case, and yes, I did count. That's what I do for you people. I count this shit. But in the end, this movie boils down to a basic, stupid American comedy that really doesn't do anything special. The only statement this movie has to make, the only message this movie has, does not shine through and become relevant until the final 15 minutes of the movie. And at the same time, I still liked the message. If that message had been more relevant throughout the entire film, I think I would have liked this movie more. But it's only present in the last 15 minutes. A few more things that I want to say is that one thing, this entire movie seemingly takes place on the same street in Manhattan, right by the Empire State Building, which I found very comedic in an ironic way. And one positive thing I would like to say is that there is an interesting transition and a nice parallel that you can see, which is probably pretty basic. But there's a nice parallel compared to the regular world she's living in and the post-world where she's living in the fake rom-com, which I rather liked and I found very intriguing. But to wrap this up, Adam Devine has a line in this movie where he says that he's an even 7 out of 10. But sorry, Adam, I'm going to give this movie an even 4 out of 10.